Don't buy real estate if you don't know this. Now, I know Matt, the mortgage guy, mortgage professional, hearing don't buy real estate from me sounds backwards, right? This is a mortgage guy who makes a living originating mortgages, and he's telling me don't buy real estate. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you what you need to know and what you should know. And if you don't know this, you should not be buying real estate. All right, Matt, the mortgage guy, residential mortgage broker. If you do know what I'm going to talk about in this video and you are prepared to buy real estate, we'd be happy to help. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form, let us know where you're at, how we can help. If you need to connect with a great agent, I've got a great tool for that, homeandmoney.com/Matt. You go there, you connect with a realtor, they're responsive, they get with you, they do a great job. I guarantee you they do, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be affiliated with them. So greatmortgagebroker.com to connect with me and my team. That's step number one. homeandmoney.com/Matt. If you're an area besides Sacramento, if you're in Sacramento, California, I'll do a personal introduction to a bunch of great realtors that I know in the area. So on to what the heck is this guy talking about saying I shouldn't buy real estate? Doesn't he make a living when people buy real estate? I do, right? But I'm a firm believer that you don't buy real estate if you don't know a few things. I'll get straight to it. Your goals, your numbers, and a game plan. You have to have this stuff mapped out. You have to know this stuff before you buy real estate. We have an intake form. We ask people what their purchase goals are, but I want you, if you're thinking about buying real estate, to dig even deeper than the 7 or 8 questions we're going to ask you. I want you to really have a good handle. And this goes for buying your primary residence. This goes for buying an investment property, what your timeline is, what your down payment is, and how much total funds you have for a down payment, what your desired monthly payment is, and then you work from there. How long are you going to stay in this house? Do you plan to move in 3 years? Are you going to hold this house for 10 years? You might not know for certain, but ask yourself this question. Jot down some of these things. Are you planning on selling this house in the future, or do you plan on making it a rental property? It might change how you go about purchasing the property. If you tell yourself in 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 years, I plan to move to this other neighborhood, or I'm going to have kids go to school, and this one's going to be a rental property, right? If you start to think about these things, you can strategize and you can truly use real estate to build wealth if it's done correctly, right? When I say you need to know your numbers, you should know what your monthly payment is. You should know what your total down payment is. You should have a good idea of how much of your total liquid reserves you're going to use for down payment, and then analyze it and tell yourself if you're, in the need of bulking up your savings account or your reserves. Because it might be that you plan to put $25,000 down on a house, but you only have $29,000 in the bank. Maybe you want to set a goal where you want to have $35,000 or $40,000 in the bank before you deploy $25,000 of it. Or you want to look at getting credits from the seller so that you don't bring as much cash to close, but you have that reserve fund of 3 to 6 months of your monthly income to provide you some peace of mind. If you're not thinking about this or asking yourself these questions, you're not going to be as prepared as somebody who is, right? You should know your budget. You should know exactly what a comfortable monthly payment is and how that fits into all the other things that you're paying for. You might realize that with gas prices gone up, with other food and other costs within your monthly budget have gone up, that while you had earmarked a certain number as a comfortable mortgage payment, you might have to dial that down by $200. I don't know, but you would not know if you didn't do the work to know these numbers, right? So in closing, have yourself a game plan, right? Have yourself a game plan, whether you're an investor or whether you're buying your first home as your primary residence. Know what you want to do. I'd like to buy a home in this neighborhood. I'd like to have a monthly mortgage payment around $2,600. You can always change plans, right? But like I talked about, if you're thinking about buying an investment property, or buying a home that's going to turn into an investment property, that's going to require a different type of search. That's going to require a different type of criteria. You might want to even look at what are rents going to be in 5 years, what are rents now, and what are they projected to be in 5 years versus what this mortgage payment is. So if I buy that house today, and yes, it fits in my monthly budget, what's it going to look like as a rental if I turn it into a rental 3 to 5 years? Are rents in this area generally good? Is the rent versus my mortgage payment going to be something that's going to allow me to keep this as a cash flowing asset, or maybe do I need to look somewhere else? These are all questions that I see people ask themselves that truly set themselves up for success. If you don't ask these questions, you don't know the answers, right? When you get pre-approved with somebody who's trying to set you up for financial success, you can look at $500,000 purchase, 5% down. Here's what my payment looks like. If I put 10% down, here's what my payment looks like. If I did a 2-1 rate buy down, if I use some seller credit to buy down the rate to do this, all these things, the answers are out there. You just have to go out and seek them. Work with the professionals that are willing to give you those answers so that you can make educated decisions about your next real estate purchase. So I'm not going to ramble on for too long. Again, greatmortgagebroker.com. If you want to connect with me and my team, we're more than happy to help. homeandmoney.com/Matt to connect with an agent. Happy house hunting. Whatever you do, if you're going to buy real estate, make sure you do the work and you answer these questions first. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it was helpful. Have a great day.